Frank the old guy. I want to tell you a few raunchy jokes and all kinds of jokes. You know, I went to my urologist, and I walked in, and he's in the waiting room in there, and he's got this cup. He hands me this cup and says, "Piss in the cup." I said, "Shit in the hat," and that's when the fight started. You know, made a major decision this morning. I decided I'm going to move in with my folks. So, that didn't go too good because the cemeteries have strict rules. They don't want live ones in there. So, my mother and dad was in this town for 100 years. 100 years they're in business. You're in the iron and steel business. My mother used to iron and my dad used to steel. Hey, thanks, Dad. So, my grandson calls me over and he says, "Hey, Grandpa. I said, "What is it, Danny?" He says, "Can you croak like a frog?" I said, "What?" He said, "Can you croak like a frog?" I said, "Sure, why do you ask?" He says, "Because I heard Mommy tell Daddy, when you croak, we're going to Hawaii." So, they got this new car coming out, 2012. It's, let's see, which one was it? Oh, yeah, 2012 Elvis Presley. And it's going to have white sideburn tires. Then there's the Mafia, 2012 Mafia. You open up the hood and another hood jumps out. It's got a heater in the glove compartment, 45 caliber. I went to this hotel in LA, and I walked in the hotel and I said to the clerk, I said, "Pardon me, but do I register with you?" He said, "Well, stick around, sweets, and we'll see." And I said, "You got a room?" He said, "Yeah, but you got to make your own bed." I said, "That's okay." So he hands me a hammer and nails. I talk about cheap hotel. I went up there and I forgot what I went up there for. That's the thing that goes. First thing that goes. I went to my eye doctor, and my eye doctor, Dr. Wong. I think he was the Wong doctor. I really do. I went in there and he says, "Frank, you have 2 cataracts." I said, "What?" He says, "You have 2 cataracts." I said, "Bullshit, Doc. I just got a Chevrolet." I have no cataracts. What is cataract shit, So, I worked for McDonald's for 7.5 years after I retired, and I decided to quit and start my own restaurant. They got the Golden Arches. What I'm having for senior citizens is going to be the Fallen Arches. And it's going to have it's going to be a restaurant, service station combination, and there'll be a big sign outside that says "Eat here and get gas." Generic, So, let's see, what was I going to say this time? I went to my neurologist, for the head, I couldn't remember very good. So he says, he examined me up and he says, "You got CRSS. I said, "What is that, Doc?" He says, "Can't remember shit syndrome." So that's, that's what I got. When you get old, that's what happens to you. But, what was I going to say?
Yes, the CRSS syndrome.
That's it. You got it. My dad and mom had 10 children. My dad always said, with that many kids, you're either a good Catholic or a sex maniac. And I said, "But Dad, you didn't go to church." He said, "You take it from there." So I know what my dad was. So. Speaking of my mom, she's 99 years old, and she doesn't use glasses. She drinks it right out of the bottle. She's good, boy. The good shit, you know what I mean? and then she smokes her joint. You know? But you know, ladies and germs, I'd like to tell you last night I took a Viagra and it got caught in my throat and now I got a stiff neck. You know, I dropped a couple of Viagras in the toilet and I couldn't close the lid for a week. You know, the drugstore up here, they took all the Viagra. The police came in and said, they're all hardened criminals. So, you know, I want to sing you a little song and I want to thank you guys for your kindness. Our father was a fighter, a rough and ready chap. There's nothing he liked better than a good old-fashioned scrap. Yes, father was a fighter, I'd often heard him tell. He licked the village blacksmith and a farmer in the dell. And then when he got married, he married just us and tried to lick the preacher for charging him a buck. God bless you and I love you.